Afternoon, I guess it is now.
I guess it would help if I put my earphones on. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Brent, I'm in desperate straits. I just had this terrible conversation with the editor of our local newspaper. They want to run a devastating story about some kind of attacks. I have no idea what's going on, but I got my friend here, my chief revenue officer, who's telling me he's pulling his hair out. So I don't know what's going on. I need to know really fast. Jay, try to tell me again what is going on.
As far as attacks go, we've been seeing quite a bit of that this morning as well. Just a couple of our internal machines have been getting lit up by some of these red teamers or attackers for now. We've seen quite a few of our internal machines have had default passwords, which is why I'm thinking that we're seeing that early on. My team has noticed that during our blue team investigation here, and we've changed all of those default passwords to stronger ones. So you should see those attacks slope downwards quite a bit throughout the day as we locate all of these different issues.
How are the client services impacted right now? That's why I'm pulling my hair out.
Oh, absolutely. And I can tell you right now, all of your services are up. We are full green. Nothing is down at all. So your exposure is perfectly fine to your client base. I have no worries there. We are seeing, like Mr. Storigus brought up, we are seeing these little tiny breadcrumbs of attacks everywhere, but we're cleaning those up as best we can. And I wouldn't be worried about anything blowing up in the future.
So why did this reporter and editor talk to me? I mean, they're worried. They used words like attack. They used words like persistent threat.
Right. Persistent threats is a great way to put a lot of these bigger attacks where it's hard for us. A persistent threat tends to happen when we don't notice something for a while, and then the attacker gains a more permanent hold on the environment. They might have said that because it's what it looked like early on before we had a chance to secure those different areas. But like I said to, I'm sorry, I forgot Mr. Porter. Like I said to Mr. Porter, we have a strong hold of the network right now, and we have different monitoring services going on inside our network that are keeping track of different attacks that may or may not be there. But we're going to get alerts as soon as they come up and are addressing them as fast as possible.
I'm happy to hear that. I was worried we were losing, bleeding revenue. So that's great to hear. Obviously, I don't think the attacks are going to go away once they started, but
absolutely not. Yeah, that's why we're here.
So let me make sure I understand. If I send an email to one of our customers, can it go through right now?
Yes, sir. That should be working.
Was it ever down this morning?
Yes, mail was down this morning for a little while. I believe this particular machine, we had to revert back to a previous state and secure it from the very start because we were concerned with the grip that the attacker had at the time and wanted to make sure that we had a full understanding of what they were doing. So we went ahead and got full control of it right away at that point.
So if one of my clients was trying to reach me to tell me the good news that they're signing a $10 million contract with me, and if it was during that time frame, I wouldn't know they tried to send me the email?
That's a good point, and that could be possible, yes. We'd have to look into that further. I can't say for sure right now. We may be able to recover that particular portion.
But did you try to tell all our customers that we had a momentary blip?
No, we did not send out a notice of that reversion. We're happy to though, if that's.
Well, let's make sure we check with our marketing and PR people before we do that.
Okay.
You ever talk to them?
No, sir. Who would you like me to contact as far as?
Well, let's start with our revenue office because that everything is driven by revenue. So Jay, are you comfortable with that role? Can you backstop for me?
I'm glad to hear they recovered it quickly. That's great. I think we need to look at and understand what clients see when services are down. And should there be some kind of automated, when a service is down, here's what you need to report, so I would get, instead of my email bouncing if I'm a client and wonder, did AI go out of business? I'm getting something, sorry, we're currently experiencing technical difficulties, or
a canned response, basically.
Yep. I think we need to look at those things. I mean, again, our interface to our clients is our revenue. We don't have one without the other.
Absolutely.
And so those services are critical, along with protecting, medical records and protecting client data. Are those data stores okay, secure?
And as soon as I saw EMR on your list, I knew that was going to be a hot spot, and those are secure. No problems there. What they did, let me rephrase. They are secure now. We noticed those attacks, just as we've said this whole time that we are being attacked. We have noticed them, and as of now, we see them as secure.
And tell me about my website, because I'm worried.
So we
websites
have
are the front-facing identity of my company.
Yes, the e-commerce website, as of now, is up. Like I said, we've been digging throughout that one, seeing different credentials issues, users that are there that shouldn't be, different users trying to connect to the machine that we suspect are malicious. So yes, those are all understood, and we're seeing them, and we're monitoring them as closely as possible. As of now, we don't see any threats to it other than the fact that they're trying to connect.
I've never met you, and it's about time I did, I think, finally, because from all that Jay's been telling me all this time, that we depend on our machines so that we can have a revenue coming in. I'm beginning to realize that that's true. So I need to be hearing from you. I've never had any good reports on how we're doing. I think attack is the order of the day. We're being attacked all the time. I went to a CEO conference, and that's all they could talk about: attack, attack, attack. So here's what I want from you. I want to establish a special backdoor with you. I want you to tell me in 24 hours, make a communication kind of program for me, make a plan for me. And I want you to tell me, what systems do we have that interface with our clients that you're responsible for? I want you to tell me what the situation is for each and every one of those systems. Which ones are up? Which ones are down? How close are you to solving problems? And then I want you to tell me, if you had your druthers, how could I, the CEO, help you so that I don't have disasters like this morning, where I woke up and reporters were on my tail, and I got a board meeting tomorrow afternoon. So I need a good report so I can walk into that boardroom knowing not the technical stuff, but the business stuff, the client-facing stuff. And because Jay's always on my right side, and I want him to be there all the time, telling me how revenues are doing, I'm going to give him the last shot of what else he might need from that report.
Okay, so just to recap here, you're asking, you'd like to communication for which systems interface with clients, how that works, how you can help in that process. Is that the general gist of it?
That's a good summary.
Okay, all right. And then
Jay, anything to add to that?
Just to reinforce, if there are systems impacted, hey, we understand we're between our competitors and the international hacking community, we know we're always under pressure and always under attack. So for those areas that are seeing degraded or non-service, we need to know, what do you estimate the timeline is to repair and get it back up and running, and to reemphasize what Costa said, how much, what support you might need from leadership.
Okay, great.
All right, Brent, go away, do good work, and
thank you.
I'll see you in 24 hours.
Thank you very much, sir. Talk to you later.
All right.